Hello, my dears. In our previous class, we learned what is combustion, combustible and non combustible substances, examples for that, and what are the necessary conditions for combustion. We discussed so many activities. The activities prove the presence of combustible substance and presence of supporter of combustion. These are the necessary conditions for combustion. When the clothes of a person catch fire, the person is covered with a blanket to extinguish the fire. A matchstick starts burning on rubbing it on the side of the matchbox. A piece of paper starts burning when a burning matchstick is brought near it. We use paper or kerosene oil to start fire in wood or coal. All these examples shows that the combustible substance must be heated to above a certain temperature. That is, the lowest temperature at which a substance catches fire is called its ignition temperature. Kerosene oil and wood do not catch fire on their own at room temperature. But if kerosene oil is heated a little, it will catch fire. But if wood is heated a little, it would still not catch fire. Which means different substances have different ignition temperatures. In this case, ignition temperature of kerosene oil is lower than that of wood. And a substance does not catch fire until its temperature is raised to its ignition temperature. The following activity shows that it is essential for a substance to reach its ignition temperature to burn. Make two paper cups by folding sheets of paper. Then half fill one of the cups with water. Fix two burning candles on the table. Heat the two cups above the candle flames. We can observe paper cup without water burns, but paper cup with water in it does not burn. This is because the paper cup with water loses its heat to the water by conduction. Hence, its temperature does not rise above its ignition temperature. If we continue heating the cup, we can even boil the water in the paper cup. From this activity, we can conclude it is essential for a substance to reach its ignition temperature to burn. Hope you understood. So, the substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with a flame are called inflammable substances. Next, we are going to discuss how do we control fire. You must have seen or heard of fire breaking out in homes, shops, and factories. A fire can be disastrous if not controlled in time. Every city has a fire station equipped with firefighting equipment. You may have seen that water is normally used to extinguish fire. However, water does not extinguish all kinds of fires, which means water works only when wood or paper are on fire. When a fire brigade arrives, it pours water on the fire. Water cools the combustible material so that its temperature is brought below its ignition temperature. This prevents the fire from spreading. Water vapors also surround the combustible material, helping in cutting off the supply of air. So the fire is extinguished. That is, cooling the substance to below its ignition temperature. But fire in electrical equipments cannot be controlled with water, as water conducts electricity. Hence, the person trying to extinguish the fire can get an electric shock. Also, oil or petrol fires cannot be put out by water, as oil and petrol are lighter than water. They float on water and keep burning. For fires involving electrical equipment and inflammable materials like petrol, carbon dioxide is the best extinguisher, which is not a supporter of combustion. Besides, it is heavier than air and forms a blanket around the fire. Fire extinguishers that give off carbon dioxide are used for this purpose. That is, the contact between the fuel and the oxygen is cut off. The fire is controlled. The added advantage of CO2 is that in most cases it does not harm the electrical equipment. In fire extinguisher, carbon dioxide is stored under great pressure in a cylinder. When released from the cylinder, it expands suddenly and cools down. Thus, besides cutting off the air supply, it's also cool down the combustible substance. That's why it is an excellent fire extinguisher. Another way to get carbon dioxide is to release a lot of dry powder of chemicals like sodium bicarbonate, that is baking soda. And there is another type of fire extinguisher, soda acid type fire extinguisher. So these are the ways we can extinguishing a fire. That means first one, removing the combustible substance. But in most of the cases, this is not possible. If, for instance, a building catches fire, the whole building is the combustible substance or fuel. Next, cooling the substance to below its ignition temperature. This is normally done with the help of water. But water works only when wood or paper are on fire. Fire in electrical equipments and inflammable substances cannot be controlled with water. Next one, cutting off the supply of air. This can be done with the help of carbon dioxide gas, which is not a supporter of combustion. These are the different methods we can control the fire. We already learned that there are three essential requirements for producing fire: fuel, air, and heat. Isn't it? Yes. so that fire can be controlled by removing one or more of these requirements. So, my dear children, hope you understood. And if you have any doubt regarding any portion, you can ask me. Thank you.